Hello and welcome everybody to this week's Market Share, the short weekly segment brought to you by MKR, where we bring you all the noteworthy news and updates surrounding digital media and the world today. I'm your host Genevieve, and we've got some interesting stories for you today, so let's get started. First up, Telly, a company created by one of the Pluto TV co-founders, is giving away free TVs. Well, they're free if you don't count the price of your attention or your data. So if you really want to get your hands on this free TV, you'll be shown constant advertisements in a second smaller display like this one. In this model, there's a larger TV for all the regular content, a soundbar directly below it, and then an additional screen that has customizable widgets like the date and weather, side by side with a small square that has constant advertisements running. Unlike most smart TVs, Telly does not currently support third-party streaming, so if you want an app like Netflix on your TV, you would have to connect an external service like a Roku stick or an Amazon Fire Stick. In addition to the two displays, there's a small camera right in the middle of the speaker that enables free advanced motion tracking fitness programs that come with the TV, which really just sounds like a major privacy issue to me. And once you dig more into the viewing and activity data policy, you can actually see that it may collect information about the audio and video content you watch, the channels you view, and the duration of your viewing sessions, along with information about how you interact with the TV. That includes your search queries, the buttons you select, as well as the physical presence of you and any other individuals using the TV at any given time. So if you want this not even smart TV watching and listening to your every move at home, be my guest, but it'll be a no from me. Our second story today revolves around the 2024 Olympic Games and how they are marketing to the most coveted generation, Gen Z. You probably remember how involved TikTok was in the last Olympics, with more content and activations going toward the massive user base. Since the last Olympics, even more Gen Zers have become influential in how companies market to consumers, and this is why marketing leaders are trying to be even more strategic with how they engage the public. Gen Z consumes sports very differently than other generations, and really wants to feel like they can relate to the people they're watching on TV, even when they're so crazy talented like these Olympians. The main goal is to inspire fans to feel invested in the athletes, which obviously comes from knowing more about them, which is why more and more video content has come out around athletes commenting on fashion, or doing behind-the-scenes training videos, or even just a synchronized swimmer showing how to do her hair. Team USA has obviously sought to put athletes at the center of its marketing efforts in years past. But with this being the first Olympics in a back-to-normal world, they can show how people really interact with each other, whether it be in practice or in the Olympic Village closer to the Games. Obviously, most companies are riffing on the idea of going back to normal and humanizing people who participate in their respective organizations. But we think this will go very far to enhance cultural relevance with the generation they're really looking to reach. Third up, let's get into sustainability. Some brands do it so well, and for some brands, consumers really shouldn't expect that much if they're being realistic. Nike is currently facing a lawsuit over greenwashing claims, and they certainly aren't the first ones to be accused of this. Last week, a Missourian filed a complaint that the sports apparel company falsely and misleadingly markets products as sustainable and environmentally friendly. Since the FTC's green guides are more for educating companies on what could constitute deceptive advertising, it isn't a set of enforceable rules or regulations. Another part of the argument explains that many consumers will pay more money for eco-friendly products. Still, Nike's sustainability collection is literally just made from materials that are harmful to the environment, even if they're recycled. Additional grounds state that only about 10% of Nike's sustainability collection is actually made with recycled materials, and considering how many people buy Nike products, it is likely to be classified as a class action suit. First off, don't create a sustainable collection if you're only using it to make you look better or make you more money. And second off, if you're a company thinking about doing something like this, you should really take notes from this next example. Canada Post has recently published some amazing creative that acts as a metaphor for its carbon-neutral ground deliveries and shows a series of ethereal boxes as they traverse the nation. The only hint that these are delivery boxes is the shipping label, as it aims to explain how the company can keep the environment beautiful. Even throughout their production to create the spot, they prioritized natural light, turned off generators when not in use, and used rechargeable batteries. The sustainable spot reminds people of how much of an impact they have on their environment, and the message really does come through as authentic. Obviously, a much better example than our friends over at Nike. Finally this week, Taco Bell is launching a liberation effort around the phrase Taco Tuesday, which has been trademarked by Taco John since the late 80s after contentiously nabbing the rights from Gregory's Restaurant and Bar in New Jersey, who, mind you, doesn't even sell tacos anymore. Taco Bell isn't seeking damages. They really just want it to become a common use phrase such as brunch or what's up, which 100% makes sense based on how many companies probably illegally have Taco Tuesday on their menus at this very moment. This is a hilarious and clever way of getting some positive press from the public, while also aiding their own potential future advertising. At the time that the story had been published, only 5 people had signed the petition, whereas now it has just under 100 supporters, and hopefully more coming soon. Taco Bell has always been known to use humor in its advertising, but this is really pushing it in the best way. That's all for this week's Market Share. My name's Genevieve, and I'll see you all next week. As well as the physical presence of you and any other, why can't I say that sentence?